Alright, so welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn about Sutra 1.31. In the previous video, we learned about Sutra 1.30. We learned about the obstacles and how these obstacles are removed by the chanting, the consistent, repetitive chanting and contemplation of the meaning of Om. Okay? In this video, we are going to learn about the elements that are accompanied with these obstacles, right? These elements come with these obstacles, okay? Now, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so by hitting the lotus icon on the bottom right of the screen. Feel free to like and share this video as well. And if you haven't already done so, please feel free to visit the academyofindianphilosophy.com for more videos and more opportunities to learn Indian philosophy, tutoring, and take classes. Okay, so Sutra 1.31 states, Dukkha dormanasyangan ejayatva shvasa prashvasa vikshepasaha bhuvaha. Okay, so we have, let's break it down here. Dukkha dormanasya we have Angam jayatva Shvasa prashvasaha. Then we have, we're going to say vikshepa saha bhuvaha. Okay, dukkha daurmanasya angam ejayatva shvasa prashvasaha vikshepa saha bhuvaha. Okay, so let's break this down. First, we're going to look at this compound here, vikshepa saha bhuvaha. Okay, so bhu, and I'm not going to read the translation just yet for now. So bhu, the root, to be, to exist, right? So the existing, there is existing, right? Or the presence with vikshepa, the obstacles. The obstacles. So something is existing with the obstacles. Something is along, coming along with the obstacles. And remember, the literal translation we're looking at for vikshepa is distractions. Distractions, okay? The obstacles was antaraya, right? The word is antaraya. But in the previous sutra, antaraya is also vikshepa. So the obstacles are distractions. So something is coming along with the distractions. What's coming along with the distractions? These components right here. Dukkha, daurmanasya, angam ejayatva, shvasa, prashvasa. Okay, so we're going to go through these components right here, okay? So just stick with me and we're going to go through the commentary and we're going to understand this. So let's begin. So the first one, dukkha. See, dukkha is a very common word used in Indian philosophical texts, Sanskrit texts, so on and so forth. It's very common. It can mean pain. It can mean dissatisfaction. It can mean like an existential yearning. It can mean, it's on a, how do you say, like a scale here. It can get intense. It cannot be as intense. Dukkha has many meanings. So we have to really understand what type of pain are we referring to here. And how do we do that? Do we just make it up? No, we go to the commentary. Go to the commentary, we understand what Vyasa, the commentator, is trying to say. So we go to the commentary and Vyasa states, Dukkham adhyatmikam adhibhautikam adhidaivikam cha. So 3 components to dukkha. So adhyatmika. This is good for, learning vocabulary here. So adhi bhautika and adhi daivika. All right, 3 types of pain: adhyatmika, adhibhautika, adhidaivika. Now, when we start to study the Sankhya Karika and when we start to go deeper into these vocabulary words, that's when there's going to be more detail. But for now, let's understand this. So, adhyatmika is pain from oneself. This is bodily and this is mental. Okay? So, your body is decaying, different types of sickness, illnesses start to emerge, right? Insecurities, so on and so forth. Mental pain, right? Mental illness, anxiety, depression, so on and so forth, right? This is pain from oneself, one's embodied being, okay? Adhyatmika. So Atma is in there. Atma, the essence, the individual. Atma is not necessarily the soul or pure consciousness. It can also mean body, mind, etc. It means the essence of something, what it consists of. So in this case, body and mind, mental, okay, and bodily. Okay, so adhyatmika. Adi bhautika is from other beings, okay, other beings. So you get into a fight with someone. There's a war, there's a battle, right? There's racism, there's injustice, all this stuff, right? Other beings, pain from other beings. Okay, it can be animals as well. You have to watch out. You walk into a forest or a jungle, there's going to be other animals, right? Insects, etc. Other beings. So here we have the pain from oneself, and then here we have pain from other beings. Okay? Then adhi daivika. Adhi daivika is the devas. So the devas, we have devas, gods, right? Natural disasters. We can have climate, atmosphere, etc. So things that are environmental, or also planets in Jyotisha. We have, when you look at an astrological chart, you're trying to see, does Saturn, does Shani have an influence in a particular place? Does Mars, does Mangala have an influence? Or does a temporal malefic, certain times a positive planet can have a malefic influence, a tatkalika papagraha, right? So how does a planet which is considered to be a deva have an influence on an individual? So these are more supernatural forces. So the self, bodily, mental, other beings, and supernatural, natural influences. These are the 3 types of pain that are mentioned when the word pain is used. Again, we don't just, every Sanskrit word is so specific. We don't just, pull out anything from it. We have to see what the commentators are saying. Okay? So far we understand these are the 3 forms. Okay? Now let's see what else is being said about pain. So, yena abhihataha praninaha tad upaghataya prayatante tad dukkham. So tad dukkham, the pain that is, the dukkha is that yena abhihataha, yena, by which, through which, abhihataha praninaha. So pain is that by which the praninaha, the beings, right, whether they're animals or humans or insects or whatever, abhihataha, that are hit, that are afflicted, that are hurt. So pain is that by which all beings or beings that are afflicted, tad upaghataya prayatante, strive or endeavor to do what? Upaghataya, to destroy, for the purpose of destroying or removal. So what does this mean? That pain that we are referring to right here, that pain is that which, or by which, the afflicted beings try to remove that pain. Okay? So what is the type of pain that we're referring to? We're referring to the pain that you have person A over here, right? And person A is hit with XYZ issues, right? So the body is decaying, the person is getting sick, the person is experiencing mental illness, the person is experiencing racism, the person is experiencing, is in the middle of a battle, supernatural disasters, etc., right? This person is experiencing all this pain and says, I want to remove this pain. I want the removal of this pain, right? How does the person find the removal? They look for the cause and they try to remove the cause or somehow dodge the pain. So what is the bhashya? What is the commentary saying here? Pain is that by which the being, right, praninaha, the one who has breath, vital breath, who is afflicted, so this afflicted being tries to remove that. Okay? So what they're saying really here, or what Vyasa is saying here is, the pain that we are referring to is the same pain that a person is trying to remove. Okay? And that could be through these three. Okay, so when we're using the word upaghataya, it's for the purpose of destruction or removal of that pain. So there's a process here that they're referring to, okay? So here are the three types of pain, and the pain that we're referring to is the type of pain that you're trying to remove or you're trying to destroy. So let's go into the next one. So we're looking at Dormanasya. So Dormanasya. So Dormanasya, it's written here, Dormanasyam Ichha Vighatat Chetasah Shobha. Okay, so let's go into this a little bit more specifically, but not too much. So now, Dormanasya, we're going to go to the last word, Shobha. Shobha. This is a sort of emotional disturbance. So it's an emotional disturbance, right? It's a type of emotional disturbance that an individual has. Now, from what? From what here? And it's saying here that vighatat chetasaha. Ichha vighatat chetasaha. So, it's an emotional disturbance, chetasaha, of the mind, right? And where does it come from? Ichha vighatat. When your desire or what you want is cut, it's removed, it's afflicted, it's pretty much blocked off. So your ichha, right? Your ichha, your desire and your wishes, the way you want things to be in the world, the way you want things to be in the world, when your desires are blocked off, they're obstructed, right? It creates an emotional disturbance. And this is what Dormanasya is. So we can use this as depression or dejectedness, right? Dejectedness. So Dormanasya is an emotional disturbance that is as a result, right? Is a key word. We have to say as a result here because that's exactly what the grammar is here, of the desires being blocked off. Okay? So you have Dukkha and you have Dormanasya. These two elements accompany the obstacles. Okay? Next one. You have this one. Angam ejayatva. Angam ejayatva. So it says Yad Angani ejayati kampayati tad angam ejayatvam. So what is ejayatvam? Tad angam ejayatvam. So angam ejayatvam is that kampayati ejayati angani. What's angani? So anga literally means limbs, right? Your limbs. Angani, so we're going to write here, angani, it's a plural form. So anga means limb, while angani is limbs, okay? So what's happening to your limbs? Your limbs are ejayati, kampayati. Something is causing them to shake and to tremble. So ejayati, to shake, kampayati, to tremble. Okay? Something is causing them to shake and tremble. So what is it? It's angam ejayatvam. So it's the state of being in a trembled state, or one can say that you did not practice your asana. One can say you did not practice your trying to be healthy. And that state that you're in makes your limbs shake and become imbalanced. So this is a state. And this state is defined as causing your limbs to shake. And when we say limbs, we can just refer to the whole body. Right? You're trying to do an asana pose, right? A physical posture. You're trying to meditate, keep your back straight, and it's shaking, right? And so it's because you're in this state. This is a distraction that you have. Okay? So that's also a distraction that comes with the obstacles. Now we have Shvasa, Prashvasa. So let's look at this a little bit more. So here we have, we're going to go with Shvasa first. Shvasa. So pranaha yad bahya vayum achamati saha shvasaha. Okay? So saha shvasaha. That shvasaha is the breath which absorbs the air from the outside. Okay? That shvasaha is that breath. So pranaha in this case, right? Which absorbs achamati, which absorbs, sips or takes in vayum, the air that is bahya, which is bahya. Okay? So shvasa is literally the person's here and the breath is entering. Okay? Shvasa. Of taking a breath, right? So that is referring to the breath. Now, when we look at the next one, yat kaushthyam nisarayati saha prashvasaha. So prashvasaha. So when we look at this, we're saying is that kaushthyam being in the abdomen and nisarayati is causing to release or causing to go out. So saha prashvasaha, that prashvasaha is causing what is in the is that which causes what is being in the abdomen to move out. Okay? So kaushthyam being in the abdomen, nisarayati. So whatever is in the abdomen is making it go out. So prashvasa is that which makes it go out. So we can say exhalation here, and we can say inhalation, right? So, but these don't seem like distractions. I mean, come on, like I need to breathe, right? So this is very important here. Inhalation, exhalation are not by default distractions of the mind. But how you breathe, how you inhale, and how you exhale, if it's disturbed, if it's erratic, this disturbs your mind. Now we know that the Hatha Yoga Pradipika has a shloka or a statement that directly says that your breath is linked to the quality of your mind. We have psychological studies, we have biological studies, we have overall scientific studies to demonstrate that the rate of breathing can create anxiety, how fast you breathe, how slow you breathe, right? How slowly you're breathing. Different ways of breathing, right? Different techniques affect the quality of your mind, how calm your mind is. This is a fact, okay? So, how you inhale and how you exhale. When it's disturbed, right, then we have it as a distraction. Okay, so it's not just breathing in general, that's a distraction. Okay, so finally, ete vikshepa saha bhuvaha vikshipta chittasya ete bhavanti. So ete bhavanti, these distractions are or they exist vikshipta chittasya, in a mind that is distracted. So in a mind that is distracted, right? Vikshipta mind, right? These distractions will exist. In fact, not only do they exist in that mind, it says vikshepa sahabhuvaha. So these are the things that come along with it. So they exist in a distracted mind and they come along with it as well. So then, samahita chittasya ete na bhavanti. Ete na bhavanti. They do not exist. They are not. In what condition are they not? Samahita chittasya. They do not exist in a mind that is samahita, that is collected, put together, and organized. So in a distracted mind, these distractions exist. But in a mind that is put together, that is in samadhi, right, they do not exist. So why is this sutra important? The sutra is important because we have understood that the Yogasūtra and Patanjali are prescribing to the yogin to chant Om and contemplate on its meaning. Why? Because it removes the obstacles and it makes the individual realize the Purusha, turn inwards and notice the Purusha, right? And along with the obstacles comes these distractions, right? These vikshepas. And along with these distractions of pain, of depression, shakiness of the body, inhalation and exhalation, right? These come along with the obstacles. And so when you chant Om, you remove the obstacles and you remove the components that come along with the obstacles. So this is the function of this sutra, and this is why this sutra is important. So the concluding sutra states pain, depression, shakiness of the body, inhalation and exhalation exist along with the distractions. And remember, inhalation and exhalation are disturbed inhalation and exhalation. It's not just breathing. Okay? Now, this is very helpful. Look at the vocabulary words here. You've learned dukkha, right? And dukkha is very common. But what do we mean by it? We look in the commentary. Oh, here are the 3 types of pain. Wow. Okay, what is dormanasya? It's a dejectedness. It's depression from not getting what you want. And it's a dejectedness in your mind. When you don't get what you want, you're dissatisfied, right? And then shakiness of the limbs without practice and disturbed breathing. These all disturb your mind. These are distractions, and they accompany the obstacles. Okay? So now in the next sutra, we'll go on to 32. So thank you very much, and until the next sutra.